Welcome back to another episode of the BEY exclusive podcast. BEY Listen. This is the podcast where we sit down and collectively have the discussions and shit that we normally have on stream, off stream, in person, in groups. All the things we love to talk about, ranging from gaming, tech, well, that's pretty much it. Anime, comics, all of that cool shit. It's your boy L. I got with me over here, young School the Loop.
Yeah. You pointing the wrong direction, but we'll go with it.
Oh Lord, it's this way.
Yeah.
I forget the shit is switch. I forget it's flip me.
It's small things, but
anyway,
yeah, man, it's good night. I'm excited.
That's cool. With Pollo Loco.
Hard go, everybody.
Pollo.
Hard go. I see hard go, everybody.
In the cut.
I see it.
Yeah, he delaying. We am though.
All right. And for tonight's conversation, we're gonna have a special guest, another fellow streamer, another fellow Bahamian content creator, fellow stream team member with the GameHeads. We haven't come up with our three-letter fucking acronym yet, but when we come up with it, it could be fucking bad, let me tell you. Okay, we have the young wizard, the young squire, the manipulator of the balloon, the digitation, prestigious pioneer. We got that boy Magaso. 2 4 2.
What's up, nigga?
Well, that was a really ghetto entrance. So we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. That's fine. bro, that sound like you would have robbed someone, but I was going to pull up my one.
Wait. That sound like how niggas is pull up on you at the mall.
Yeah, baby.
What's good, little man?
Say my name is Take Your Shit, and my boy name is Hand It Over. So I can need you to hand it over.
Look here, my little man.
Sweet thing. See.
But Magaso, how you feeling tonight, man? How you feeling? I know you're just coming off your birthday, man. Happy belated.
Happy birthday! I didn't even know that, man.
I feeling
happy
old.
Belated.
I feeling old.
Tank up yesterday.
No, man. Age ain't nothing but a number, man.
No, man. No. Whoever turned that into a song is a lying motherfucker. Cause when you change your age, your strong game ain't as strong no more. You be like, I need 2 minutes, my back.
Oh man, don't say that.
Let me lay down and you get on and you do the work, alright? Yeah.
Yoga. Yoga, daddy. Yoga, I'm telling you, yoga.
So yoga?
Make sure get your cardio in.
I gotta go hit up Dalzim and see what he's saying. If you have any more free spots in his class, then I gotta
any apprenticeship seat.
You need that noonie juice and mango, man.
No, my God. I don't know.
Noonie juice and mango.
Yeah, that's the revitalizer. I just thought you said. I don't even know.
But anyway, so for tonight's topic, we're gonna be touching on something that's important to all of us. Something that's near and dear to many of our hearts. We're talking about gaming. We're going to be talking about not just gaming today, but gaming as we've seen it through the years. So all of us at a relatively decent age. I'm 29 right now.
I don't want to say my age, so.
Oh, so you won't be like woman then?
Sure, that's fine. That's fine. Ain't no wrong with that.
I just turned 38 yesterday, so yeah, there we go.
I above
So
35.
we got a nice range, is what I'm saying. So we have a nice range for a good amount of different perspectives for how we've seen gaming over the years, how we've grown up with gaming, how we've seen it change, what kind of changes we've seen, what we like, what we don't like. So first up, let's get to the core of it. What was everyone's boy I love gaming moment?
Oh man.
I played Power Stone on Dreamcast and instantly fell in love with that thing.
Power Stone. Tell us about that. I never heard of that.
It was a fighting game.
On Dreamcast.
Yeah, I think you could have had about like 6 different people playing on it. That's when they didn't have no limitations to how many. Once you have that adapter, you could play as many controllers as you want onto that one console.
And I ran with 6 people? Goodness.
Yes, bro.
That sounds nice, babe.
Okay, so you have your people in there, select your characters, you're duking it out, you're collecting like 4 to 5 different stones to level up your character into its second form, and you're doing a bunch of damage. The maps used to always do some weird movement to either kill you or help you.
Oh, so it was Brawl before Brawl came out.
Yeah, but
yeah, you didn't have to knock him off the stage though. Like they had like, I think you had a thing. I don't remember it being unlimited players. I know it was up to 4.
I know it's 6. I had 6 people.
6? I can't remember 6. But I mean, if you say so, I know because Dreamcast already had 4 slots.
Mm-hmm.
There was an adapter to it, just like there was an adapter for the PlayStation at one point where that only had 2 slots. So you can have
okay. I think I see what you mean then.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I would say my favorite I love gaming moment was when I got serious into Pokemon, because just the mere idea of being able to trade a Pokemon over a cable with some random person, and then
that like cable gets so much people in trouble in school.
Yeah, Pokemon in school was like a dangerous combination, because it'll be like you will box someone with a Game Boy, and it was a good thing that Pokemon Red and Blue came in red and blue colored cartridges, because you'd be seeing someone with a Game Boy, be like, "You got Pokemon? You got a Diglett or something? I need to trade, or you got a Tingam, or you got listen, trade it to me, and I can trade it right back. I only want to fill out my Pokédex. That's it."
Mm-hmm. And that's
you know what I'm saying?
Trading was the only
them link battles too. Link battles
was the shit too. I remember them. Like the fact that you could do that, like over a wireless, or like, let me not say wireless, but over a battery operated device through a cable, it was pretty cool. And then I had Game Boy. I had Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. In fact, I still have my old Game Boy. I gotta go look for that.
I think I didn't really appreciate the whole link cable thing, mainly for the only when it pertains to Pokemon, for the sheer fact that what if I have nobody else who wants the Pokemon? I need a Gengar. The only way to get Gengar is to trade him. I upset.
On you for not having friends.
No. Correction. Friends who have the same device.
The same what device? You mean like a Game Boy?
Yeah, not everybody had Game Boys in my school.
Yeah, but if they had Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Pocket, they could have still worked too.
I had Game Boy Color.
Put the cartridge in there, and then I had a link cable, so I used to like get, and then it was lucky for me because me and my cousin had lived together, so he had blue and I had red, and whatever we needed off each other, we just trade. But then there was sometimes when like we'd meet some people at school and whatever, and man, but I think I was one of the most notorious Pokemon people in my school. I didn't start battling people until I caught Mewtwo, and I caught Mewtwo.
Wow!
I caught Mewtwo with a Pokeball because I used my Master Ball on accident.
Basic Pokeball.
A basic, and guess what? You won't. But no one believes this. No one believes me when I tell him this. I had like I had bought 100 Pokeballs. I used my last one and caught him. Because what I used to do is I used to fight him until he get low, and I'd try to keep catching him. And if I don't catch him, I'd cut the game off and start over. I got on my no, it was my fourth attempt. On my fourth attempt at doing this, I threw my very last Pokeball and I caught it. I was like,
that's a little scummy. That's a little scummy.
I was freaking.
Hey,
I was
get it how you live.
even though when you turn it off and turn it back on, you still losing Pokeballs.
No, I wasn't losing. Yeah, I was still losing them because I was using it. No, because I saved before, like when I stood in front of him before I talked to him to start the fight. So I would save I saved in front of him. So when if I gonna lose the fight, I just cut the Game Boy off, turn it back on, and start the fight over.
Oh, I see.
But man, on that the last Pokeball I catch him, I was like, oh,
Boy.
oh. I was freaking out, dude.
For me, it'd have to be like it was. I think it's like in between two games. So I never had games growing up. I couldn't really have games growing up like that. So I found out about like I knew games existed, but I didn't know about the game console until I got by my neighbor, and he had Mario on the Game Boy SP. I can tell you which Mario that was, but it's one of the older Marios. And I say, oh shoot, you can not the Game Boy SP, but one of the Game Boy Advance, one of the older ones. I said, oh shoot, you could do all of this? I said, yeah, if you press the A button, you could jump, right? You could hold down the B button, you could run. I said, oh, I said, it's a movie, but I could interact with it. But it didn't really come into place. Like I understand and I conceptualize that you can do these things, but it was his. So I only saw it for a few seconds, right? It wasn't until I got Chrono Trigger, right? And I say this what it really means to have an interactive medium. And then when I was combining moves together, like I'd have, I think her name is Meryl, she'll learn an ice move. And then the guy, the main character, he would have like a spinning move. And you combine the spinning move with the ice move to get a combination attack. I say, why are you doing all of this? Stop it, man. Stop it. Then that was my moment. That was that moment. I was like, yeah, this for me. I gotta continue with this. So,
but you, Mr. L, man.
This whole time, I ain't gonna lie, I intentionally let y'all go first so I could think about it. Because in all honesty, I can't think of one definitive moment because I have my generic answer. Because the first video game I ever played was Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
So between that in itself, it was cool and everything. Like we had the Super Mario and we had the Street Fighter, and I did start to build up that love for gaming. But I think that real trigger for me that just turned me into a fiend, I really want to say was Kingdom Hearts, in all honesty.
I think for you, I could get behind that answer. I
think it was
how
Kingdom
many
Hearts
hours you put into Kingdom Hearts, regardless of what other game you have ever played. When it came to the old system, Kingdom Hearts, you beat it on every single difficulty, and you made sure you beat Xehanort on the hardest difficulty.
It was like
I can't even get behind Kingdom Hearts that much because I didn't hate. You freezing?
Yeah, they were.
I didn't hate Kingdom Hearts. I didn't hate Kingdom Hearts. I hated Kingdom Hearts so much.
If you get why did you hate Kingdom Hearts? I don't. Let me get it.
Because they didn't hurry up and finish the damn game. It took them a decade and 2 years.
Oh, you talking about 3? You talking about the newest one?
Like they are the people at Square Enix who is responsible for Kingdom Hearts. To me, is the very definition of a cock tease bait. I am telling you, like every trailer that came out, you thought it was Kingdom Hearts 3. No, it's Kingdom Hearts something, and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and Kingdom Hearts something by
Kingdom
something.
Hearts
play
Chain
all them.
Memories.
I
Like,
play all of them
dude,
except for the dancing one.
I don't
Okay,
care
then.
about what happened.
Yeah, we can
I
hear
don't
you.
care
Y'all get,
about what happened
hey.
before.
Hold on.
Like,
Alright,
just
so
to get to the end of the game. I played 1 and I played 2. And the only side game I ever played was Chain of Memories. And the reason why I played that was
you're missing out.
because I played that on Game Boy
It's on
Advance.
advance. It's on
I played that
advance, yeah.
and I loved it because the system in that game was pretty damn good for advance. I was like,
I
you know what? I respect this and I get behind this. And then they started running out with the other games. I was like,
No,
no, I
see-
good. I straight. It
Birth
ain't
by
3
Sleep
yet.
was
Wait,
good.
No, I good.
Wait
Birth,
I
now.
straight.
Bird by
Birth by
Sleep
Sleep
actually
was good.
reinvented the series. Bird by
And
Sleep
then
revitalized the series. The PSP Kingdom Hearts. Now that, in all honesty, if I'm gonna be completely honest
that's
with you,
365 days over 2, by the way.
if I rank all of the Kingdom Hearts games top to bottom from best to worst, Kingdom Hearts 2 is the pinnacle. And I think I would put I don't it seems kind of unfair, but I want to put Bird by Sleep tied with Kingdom Hearts 1 for second place. Bird by Sleep was an immaculate game, and it was the first Kingdom Hearts game to actually include some kind of co-op or like a multiplayer aspect to it. So you could actually link up with your boy over the what kind of feed PSP used to do for you to do multiplayer?
It was RSS.
So you could actually connect across that and play multiplayer in Bird by Sleep with your boys. So aside from that, it had new mechanics like this targeting and auto attack system that you could do. It had the regular shits, and then you had the different and the story. So for me, Kingdom Hearts triggered that obsession, like that fixation on gaming. Kingdom Hearts was that one for me. Now I loved gaming a lot prior to that. From Super Nintendo, N64. I had a Dreamcast. Dreamcast was an amazing system for its time.
Yeah.
Dreamcast
no
was an
idea why it went dead.
amazing system for its time.
I have no idea why that went dead.
Because Sega ran out of money. Sega ran out of money and had to get buyout.
Man,
Like Sega been taking L's from time.
man, the Dreamcast was an awesome. I think one of the other things that may have contributed to them screwing up is the fact that they didn't anti-pirate their console, because I don't know
That's
if anyone
true.
knows this. I don't know
That's
if anyone
true.
knows this, but if you let's say all 4 of us had a Dreamcast and I bought one game that everybody wanted, right? I could take 3 other blank CDs, rip the game, and give you all each the blank CDs and you all wouldn't have to buy them.
Amazing.
And it would play in the Dreamcast. Like, you ain't need no converter or nothing. All you have to do is just pop that CD in and it'll play.
Regular ass disk drive.
They didn't. Yeah, they did not. They did not friggin' anti-pirate their console. No one knows this, and I keep telling people that you could do it. I even proved it to a guy back in the States. I proved it to him. I was like, like, which game this is? Dino Crisis? All right, cool. Put it, like, you have any blank CDs? No, all right, cool. I walked to the store a few blocks away from his house, got a blank CD, and I came back. I was like, all right, now rip it to that. This is like, you know what? You can do all this just for me to prove. I like, dude, how much you want bet? How much you want bet?
Put up that money, eh? Put up that money.
How much you want bet? You got $50? I got $50 in my pocket right now. What you saying? What you saying, dog? Man, this dude was like, and he gets scared because he see how confident I was, right? I was like, dude, rip the CD, babe. Rip the CD, babe. And he rip it. I was like, all right, cool. Put that inside your Dreamcast and turn the power on. I telling you, this dude was playing Dino Crisis. This dude dropped, his jaw drop on the floor. I was like, well, mother race. How this dude from the Bahamas come and show me this shit?
Boy.
I was like, yo,
I didn't even know that. That's good to know. Thank you.
There was some days.
Dreamcast was a shit.
Dreamcast was a great console.
It was.
But so that being said, we had our staple games, that one that really brought us into the whole gaming culture and this love for gaming. So over the years, how did you see that love for gaming grow, and how did you see gaming grow? So when we look at gaming right now, we see it. Everyone talks about, oh, it's video game industry. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and this and that. You have professional gamers outpacing the yearly salaries of like doctors and lawyers. But it wasn't always like this. It wasn't even close to something like this. In the late 90s, I'm going to speak to when I was a child. So in the late 90s, you would hear about, say, a gaming convention out in California one year, or you might pick up a Game Informer magazine or one of those PlayStation or gaming magazines, and you see a competition here or there, one or two things, but it was never really as big as it is now. When you were younger, when all of us were younger, did you anticipate this, or did you ever even think about gaming as something you could just do for the rest of your life? For me, I was so deep into gaming, I would get all of these magazines, G4 Tech TV, shit like that, like all of these resources. I used to soak this shit up. So for me, even as a child, I always knew, boy, gaming is something like, this isn't just for kids. This isn't something that's just, oh, leave that for the children, or stop playing game, you gotta go do something and get serious. I'm like, boy, these people are making money talking and writing about games. There has to be some way for me to be able to do something with it.
Yeah. I think for me, seeing the evolution of how games went from, all right, for me, my biggest thing with games was like going in the game room and seeing like the interaction between people, because a lot of people say they miss the game room. What I love about arcades is the social aspect of it, because
yes,
I miss going into a building
and just beating everyone
and bucking people you don't even know. And y'all could either be playing a fighting game, or y'all could be playing a game that does co-op. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that old, like, there's Altered Beast was in the arcades, and there was that old Superman game where you could put, where one person was Superman and one person was another Superman. I was like another Superman.
TMNT
Yeah,
all
and
the way.
TMNT, the one where you could go in whichever one you put your quarter in, that's the turtle you had.
That's you.
You know, and then there was one X-Men one too. I remember that. Where it was, it was Dazzler, Colossus, Wolverine, and Storm. Yeah, and you could choose between them. It was so friggin' solid, and I did like that aspect. But to see that evolve from having those games in arcades to like now being able to be at home and play them, which is good. And I'm glad that that the internet and things evolved to the point where they could actually make them multiplayer. That I think is a good thing too. But I like playing some games by myself, but I love when I play games with other people, because it brings back that social aspect to it. And it doesn't take away from that. Like, you know, you could meet with someone and think of, like, one of my best friends who's be on the stream with me sometimes. I met him from playing Warframe, because we were both stuck on one mission for like the longest time. And he and me and him became friends from that. Like, we've been friends ever since. So that's one of the things I love about games. But seeing that games have evolved, it's gotten over. Like, I tell people, and I try to tell parents, I'd be like gaming is no longer that thing where you can lie to your children and say, oh, well, you can't make money doing playing no games. I'd be like, actually,
what? I can make more money than you.
Like, if I'm in the same room, I will be that person. Be like, actually,
I can call you up. He probably can make more money than you.
Yes, you can. Like,
he probably can make more money than you.
Don't be sleeping on gamers. Like, these
I pull up
motherfuckers
stats quick.
They making coins. Like,
I take that personally, because that's something that I heard so much growing up with. I did that growing up.
I think I did that. I did that to one of the tourists back at Margaritaville, where I do balloons at. She was like, her son was playing what it was.
Wait, hold on, Magaso. I mean What DJ? What you doing? You think?
I don't know. I don't know
You
what this
think?
nigga's
Wait.
doing, but
He laughed.
I
I don't
see
know
this
what's going
nigga sneaking something in this corner, and he trying to hide it from the screen. Like he trying to make a scoop, and
like
like it
he's
won't
not
show up,
on
bro.
camera.
The camera
Like
on.
he's not on camera.
Bro, if you're going to eat, just eat. In fact, tell the stream what you eat, man.
I, so I had to switch it up because y'all wanted me to do it quickly, right? So I ended up making a hot dog sandwich. And I don't
You eating a glizzy at 11:30 at night?
Hold on. Wait, hold on. We gotta back up because they don't understand what was this guy making before the stream.
This dude
Bro,
say
you
he
said
had
he was
before it
making
started,
this
what was he
was a
making?
5-course meal, man. He had a
You had a
steak and rice
5-course
and things.
meal.
He had a 5-course meal.
So I
People,
switched it up so I go a little
we
bit
were waiting
simpler.
on DJ to start
Bro.
this because he wanted to make a 5-course meal. He wanted salad.
Bro.
He wanted steak. He had peas and rice. Wait,
He
the
had
steak.
no, but he had pasta al dente with a side of caviar.
The
He had
steak.
the
The
roasted
steak.
foie gras.
Hold on.
He had
Let
the
me say
seafood
this.
surf and turf.
The steak wasn't even
The
thawed out.
seafood surf
The
and
steak
turf.
wasn't even thawed out. The steak was
You're
frozen.
killing me right now.
Bro, the steak was so raw it could say move. And he won't try to do
How
it
did you
before the
get-
stream. 15 minutes.
How did you get from that to a straight glizzy
You
at
also
11:30?
This is
I
the
was
first
trying to
time I've
speed
ever heard a
up
hot dog sandwich called a glizzy in my life. I never knew
Oh,
that
yeah.
was the term.
side talk
yeah.
NYC,
Oh
but
yeah. Oh
side
yeah.
talk
Yeah.
NYC.
Bing bong. How that is.
Bro, that was the quickest thing. All I gotta do is boil and toast bread.
DJ,
Bam.
why didn't you do that from the jump?
Why you didn't
Like
jump?
that you should have done that from the jump, from the start. That should have been the game plan. Not no steak.
I was
I
thinking.
the thing is, I hearing steak, guys, and I'm thinking, okay, the steak already frying. That's why you got to go downstairs. That's why you got to be in the kitchen, right? Because the stove on, and we got to sit close to the stove. That's what I'm thinking. When this nigga tell me that he
Hell,
still got to
don't
cut
be
the
mad.
cow, he still got to cut the meat from the cow before he can cook it.
Don't be
I
mad.
say, bro,
This
check
good.
this nigga.
Time now. We all waiting to see this honey glazed steak with the
I'm
onions.
waiting to see this finished product.
I want to see this masterpiece. The
I
chef
see-
Gordon Ramsay friggin'.
I see DJ Gully creeping in the corner, and he like smiling. I say, you really
like,
ain't doing a good job
He
at
over
this.
there. He over there.
He doing like this. He like, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I just had to bring that up.
Yeah, we talking
Yeah,
about
but yeah, but
Magaso,
what we talking about? What we talking about?
I was
Magaso is
I
telling
talking
you
about
the story of when this kid was at Margaritaville.
Oh yeah,
And he was playing Fortnite on his Switch, and he was like, and he wanted me to make something with Fortnite, and his mom was like, all these kids in their damn video games, they don't know they're not gonna make any money doing that stuff. I was like, actually, and I whip out my phone and I showed him stats from like last Fortnite tournament. I was like, yeah, you see how much money that is? If he was to actually compete and win, yeah. Well, see, that's the thing though. I keep telling him like the thing is not to try to win, just try to make top 8. Once you make top 8, you top 8 gets paid, so you good.
But
yeah, I mean, I could definitely see like today, there's more money in it. I don't know if I'd fully recommend for anyone to just jump into gaming because it is a saturated market. It is a saturated space, and like this, it doesn't matter what you do, whether you want to play games competitively, whether you want to build games, right? The space is filled, right? It's full of people, and you got to come correct.
I still wouldn't say saturated though, because saturated implies that there's like no room left for growth.
Yeah, maybe it's too strong. Maybe it's too strong.
It's very competitive. It's fiercely competitive. Let me say that.
Right. I just want to paint a picture that how much people you think is in gaming, double it, triple it, right? Maybe even quadruple it, right? How many people you think is in gaming?
It's a lot more than you think. It's a lot more than you think.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go. Because I know Leroy asked several questions, and that in that beginning part. For me, a gaming was definitely a niche experience. Like this is something that you didn't really get as much. And it might be my bias because of how I was raised. I didn't get to play a lot of multiplayer games. I played a lot of single player games. And I remember a lot of the games that I played had innovation, right? I'd play one game, I played another game, right? And there's usually something new, some new mechanic, right? Not just because I was new to gaming, but something that's like, oh, really? This is what you decided to do? And gaming back when I was growing up, like there was definitely more innovation. I think personally, right? There was definitely more risks being taken. There was definitely more pushing the boundaries, right? And sometimes it was
Well,
hit or miss.
well, the standards was significantly low back then. Like it didn't take
And that's
much to.
Not really. Not really. Not really.
Not really.
Not really. I wouldn't say the standards was low. In fact, I think the standards were higher back then because they were working with such limited technology. They had to work
right.
harder to captivate that audience.
Right. You only get 10 kilobytes of RAM, right? You got one little processor that can do maybe 10 operations. And you got a 5x4 screen. You got to make everything work. When Zeus come on the screen, you can't make Zeus too flashy, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to entertain the world.
Zeus can't. You can't have the Rock on the screen now. Back in the day.
Well, I can say why I say that. Like you
No,
look at the games.
hold that thought. Let me sorry. Let me finish.
Continue. No, you got. Go ahead.
But I'm glad you brought that up. Let me get it out of the way. So for me, like I definitely thought game was definitely more niche, right? And I saw a lot of more innovation. I saw a lot more evolution. I saw a lot more risk taking. I was like, oh, really? I never thought that something like this really could happen or this really exists. Oh, that's an interesting way to tell a story. Or that's an interesting way to do a battle mechanic, right? Or that's it was definitely new. Now, like the evolution of the game, it's so mainstream, and I feel like, and I use that word, feel, because I didn't really kind of back it up that much, but I feel like everyone just trying to jump on trends, right? And one trend I can think of is a battle royale. Everyone will make a fucking battle royale, and it's like I miss the days when it was niche, right? I miss the days when it was just a couple of fucking nerds, in their room trying to come up with the most creative story or some new combat mechanic, regardless if it's hit or miss, right? We don't want Spider-Man skins because we know that Spider-Man's hit well with the people between 10 and 15 years old. No, we're talking about we really trying to see if we can try to do this story, if we really can try to have this battle mechanic, and whether you like it or not, we happy that you support us and we happy that you play that medium. Not this mainstream battle royale shit. I am glad that more money got into gaming, but at the same time, I kind of wish we could take a step back in some regards.
I like how you put that, and we definitely could touch on that, because that is a part of how gaming has evolved over the years. Gaming now is completely different than what it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. But DJ, I gonna let you go too. I know you aren't gone yet.
Oh, I was saying why I said that the standards was low. I use games such as, remember 007?
Of course. GoldenEye.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't the greatest. Between that and Doom, we played that repetitively. That was something that would go in the Hall of Fame of games just for most people. But what was it? What was it really other than, oh my gosh, how do I describe it? Boxes?
Yeah, wasn't the first Doom like an on the rails shooter?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Doom was on Windows 95.
Right. I mean, you think of like Metroid. I think the first Metroid only got like 6 sprites on the screen at the same time. If you know that.
Yeah.
It might even be half that.
Yeah.
And then the first Metroid on Nintendo, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, whatever system it came out on, the first Metroid.
It's Nintendo.
First Metroid was that was woo. It was a nice game, but seeing like how it evolved over the time, I understand where you're coming from. Pollo chicken. I see where you're coming from. But I think what you're looking more at is the graphical side of it, because I mean, for all intents and purposes, when we were kids, 007 games
That
like
shit was
007 and stuff,
legendary.
it was like the best thing ever, because like, yeah, they may be boxes, but I mean,
We didn't
We
they
never
really
saw
know
were
them
any
they,
better.
they were
boxes.
they were
We never
more
saw them
defined
boxes.
boxes than Doom
Right.
on Windows 95, you know,
But
Right.
and
looking
then
at
it
that, you
started
thought you was
then it
looking at a movie.
But
then it
and
turned into friggin' what was the next big thing now? Then it turned into Super Mario looking like, you know, extremely
64.
awesome
but
now. Like you have a big nose.
one of the
You could mess with his
benefits.
face on the tingum screen, on the intro screen is like cool, you know.
Mm,
And then it moved from
mm.
that into seeing breasts in God of War, you know.
Right.
So
Check dog. All right. But one of the hidden benefits, or at least one of the hidden benefits of them low details, low poly characters, is that the fact that your imagination actually fills in the details.
yeah,
Quality.
Right? Like when
They
you
made
Quality.
up for it in other aspects of the game,
well,
regardless of
that's
the
true,
graphics.
but like your imagination did some of the work too, as well. Like fill in some of the blanks of what's going on, right? It made the world
yeah.
feel more immersive, more expansive than what it actually was, right? Like
And you know what?
mhm.
It's actually good that you said that, Scoot, because I have this argument with a lot of people, and it always turns into a debate, and it may turn into a debate here. But I always I always have this argument with people where I tell them good graphics don't make a good game.
That's
You could have a game.
facts. That's
You could have a game with the shittiest graphics ever. You could have a game that only runs on 4 pixels, like you said, with 6
4 pixels.
pixels with Metroid. But if the story is good and it like makes me want to like find out what happens next, like I am engaged,
Every time.
then
Every
everything is
time.
like everything else goes out the water. It'd be
Every
like
time.
Right.
I
the
mean,
control is good,
yeah,
the
the
story
gameplay.
is awesome. It'd be like, man, yeah, I straight.
Like
All right.
I could still play Mega Man games. I'd
Oh
enjoy
yeah.
them all day. Anything in that kind of that platform, that theme,
Mm.
I could play them without a second thought. I used to play a game. I think Dust was a good game. I don't think any of y'all would know about that, but that was
Dust.
a
No.
similar.
No.
Dust?
It's called Dust.
Okay.
And some more recent game,
Mm-mm. I can look at it right now. I can tell you what.
Dust and Elysian
What
Tale.
kind of game was it? What kind of game was it? It was a platformer or
There's a
what genre was
platformer.
it?
It was a platformer.
On what
Okay.
system?
I had that on Xbox.
Oh, the original
Mm.
Xbox.
All right.
Then it had
Okay.
an adaptation to the 360. Back in the day, they wouldn't allow that kind of thing.
Mm.
Mm.
Boy.
All right. Well,
We
now
we also talked about. I remember us mentioning earlier that when it comes to games, that we don't get the full game no more.
Yeah.
What is a
Listen,
full
man.
game?
great
We can
segue.
talk about that from now till thy
No,
kingdom come, babe.
no, that's a great segue. That's a great segue. So we could
We can
touch
talk
on
about that from now
Scoop's
till thy
previous
kingdom
point.
Jesus.
Scoop's previous point with how the gaming market itself has changed. The focus of these gaming companies has changed. So we talked a bit about how those earlier games, a lot of them, they didn't rely heavily on like the graphics or gimmicks or any of these other things.
Mm.
They made one whole product, and when that
And they give it
product
to you.
was realized and done, they would sell you that product. If you like it, you would buy it, and then you would continue to support them because they continued making good work. If you didn't like it, you showed by not purchasing, and then the company would learn and either adjust or die off. It was very clear cut. Now,
Yeah.
fast forward to the late 2000s, early 2010s, we start to see a lot of these allowances for things like in-game purchases. You start to see more of an emphasis on digital wallets and virtual currencies. Now, mind
Surprise
you,
mechanics.
these things have existed for a while. Now, if you were like a early MMO player, if you played a lot of those PC, the online games where you have these big online, these massive online communities, you were already sort of accustomed to like the concept of a cash shop, the concept of a place where you go to spend additional money. Because normally these games are free. A lot of these MMOs are free, and you could, if you wanted to, spend money on some aesthetic stuff, nothing really to win. For the most part, it was purely aesthetic.
Well, like even
Maple Story.
in the
For my
West,
example, Maple Story.
Right, even in the West, you didn't even have to play an MMORPG. They just had the gacha system. It was simple. You put the quarter in the machine, and you hope you get the little toy that you want. Right, it existed. Gacha existed in East like long time. A lot of people they couldn't get access to their own computer like at home, so they play a lot of mobile games, and they'll put they're more accepting of microtransactions. That's how the market works over there. They should have just kept that shit over there, but it's over here now.
To be fair, it's funny y'all should mention this because I asked my girlfriend about this not too long ago, and I asked her, a question if she thinks that, because we overheard someone talking about Netflix, and it prompted me to think about what I think about companies like Netflix, right? And I say, in my mind, I think that Netflix has spoiled a lot of us. All right, because when we wanted to watch TV shows, we would watch this one episode this week, and then we'd be geared up for the for the next episode next week.
Anticipation,
like we had that anticipation was building up, right?
Right.
But with things like Netflix, you go on Netflix and you get the entire season, and you could watch all of that in one night if you choose to do that.
Now that's only for some shows.
Yeah,
they do have
I get
new shows that they bring. All right, I understand.
That's fine. You gotta be that nigga DJ.
no, I get his argument, but for the majority of the shows, you got your option to just watch the entire season and then wait a couple years or however long for the next season to roll around. Now, where that ties in on gaming is because what I like to call this era now, I call this the microwave era, because no one likes to wait for anything. No one likes to wait for anything anymore. It's like they need that. They need this now. They'd be like, hey, no one wants to like do some work or whatever. They want their results like that.
Instant gratification.
So when it comes to gaming, like I think the reason why a lot of game developers is do this bullshit where it is like bring you half the game and then make you wait for the next half, or like hide it behind a paywall or something, is that they understand the nature of the beast that is like the microwave era, because everyone wants this now. They trying to see how much people they could get money from for that, using that tactic before they like roll back on it. Because I mean, if you think about it, places like EA and whatever, like who did all that microtransaction foolishness or what they call surprise mechanics, they didn't even have to do that at all, but they did it, and then they waited until they got reprimanded for it to roll back on it. They couldn't have done that at all, and which lets you understand that they understood that this was a wrong way to go about it.
They were testing the waters. Because they were testing the waters. They wanted to see how much backlash they would
take that risk.
Personally, I don't think a company as big as EA is the type of company would just do something on that scale as egregious as that. I consider it testing the waters.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
So here's why it is testing the waters. It is testing the waters because that they saw what these kind of mechanics did in the East. So EA's primary demographic here in the West. They sell internationally, but their core demographic is the Western audience. So they were catering to Western desires. So West hadn't caught up to a lot of the gacha practices and a lot of these micros and in-game purchases and stuff that was dominant in the East. These things have been in the Eastern games. So when they saw what was happening over there, because a lot of things, especially in tech, a lot of things trickle down to the West. There's an exchange that goes on both ways. But certain things trickle over here from the east. And one of those things was this concept of, like I said, in-game purchases, the gacha, the DLC, the half game releases, the season passes, and all of these things. So all EA really did, because they know they could afford the fine. Once you could afford the fine, you don't give a fuck about laws. So what in their head, it's okay, let's test this out. Let's put some purchases in here. Let's do this. Let's see what kind of reception we get. We know people could be mad, but let's see how much of them actually still pay out and then go from there. So then they slide it in, they get the uproar, oh, blah, 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 blah. But mind you, among all of the uproar, among all of the noise that's made, people still open their wallets. That is what speaks the loudest.
I think
that has always spoken the loudest.
I think another example, and I might be stretching a little piece, but Genshin Impact. That's a fairly recent game. That game was on mobile. A lot of the mechanics, the cash shops, the character systems, right? They got like the I think the hieroglyphics. You had to spawn, you had to summon multiple of the same characters to upgrade the hieroglyphic system or whatever they got, the upgrade system for a particular character. A lot of those were mobile mechanics. But they say, hey, you know what? Let's put it on the console. And let's see how we can market it as a mobile game, but you can play it on the console, right? And they were clever because they know the things that you can get away in a mobile game, you can't necessarily get away in a console. And now that they see that, oh, people like that, people like Genshin, they're willing to pay money on the consoles. Oh, this is a new precedent, right? Every other company can see this now and say, okay, we can follow in Genshin's footsteps. And Genshin Impact is a successful game. They're making bank. I think they up there with Fortnite, unfortunately.
They are.
Yeah, but they getting a lot of
They have a lot of traction.
I tried playing Genshin Impact a while ago, and then I realized that like if I can get good at this, I have to put money into it. Nah, I ain't putting no money into it.
Money and time.
Done.
Like I'm with Scoot. I'd rather just get the whole game one time than having to like just pay this all thing.
The way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's all we've ever wanted. We just want to pay for your game, for that concept that you came up with, that concept that we like, that we love, that we've been purchasing. We want that full concept in a new game. We want you to innovate. We want you to experiment. We want you to try. Everything isn't going to be and that's part of where this give and take comes in too, because you have to understand consumerism and capitalism. You have to understand that at the end of the day, while gaming started out as this niche field, it started out as this specialized, only nerds, kind of underground, not really hyped up, not really talked about outside of those circles. It was a thing. It was almost an exclusive club. It was an exclusive group of people. But now that money is seeing how much money there is to be made in things like gaming, in the gaming industry on the whole, now that they see what they can do,
right?
The big pocket guys are now moving into this field,
right?
So gaming developers haven't changed. The gaming industry has changed,
right? And you can't speak for all developers. I want to add another point.
No, not all developers, not all developers, but the management is what's changed here. The people at the top making the final calls are the one making these final decisions.
And see, now the people know, right? See, now that they know that there's money, right? The game of gaming marketing, or the game of selling a game, creating a game, it shifts. It shifts from being a niche creative endeavor to a business system, right? Something you try to monetize, right? We see Battle Royale is making $1 billion. How can let me see if I can get this fucking Square Enix IP. We can slap Cloud on it, and we will make a Battle Royale. We're looking at the first soldier right now. The game is out, I think. Right?
Well,
so it's investors looking at how we can make money. They say Battle Royale is hot. We jumping in that space.
And another one that they also jumping into is the whole Smash S games. Those brawl,
Yeah,
them
I was
brawl
Yeah.
games.
mad. I was coming for that too,
I
man. I was
Where
coming
they
for that.
on
Man,
top
there's
of
so much.
these
Wait,
Warner Brothers doing it, Nickelodeon is doing it, has done it, and trying to come
yeah,
up with a sequel for
Yeah.
it. You got
What
mm,
happened?
Brawlhalla.
What
Yeah.
happened to
Brawlhalla.
that? What happened to that PlayStation All Stars one that was supposed
That
to?
was
No,
listen.
it came out and flopped.
I ain't gonna lie,
Bro,
right?
the game was
That
like
game was
this.
so. That
Woof.
game was so ass. It was
Wait,
so ass.
that that game come and gone quicker than the PSP
I was
go.
like, I was looking at that. I was like, dude, what is this? A PlayStation version of Smash Brothers? Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
And it looked
yeah.
rough. I don't know who they're trying to
It
sell that to.
looked.
That
It,
looked
it didn't even look
rough,
like a beta.
And then
It
bro.
didn't
Brawlhalla
even look
came
like
and
a beta. It looked like an alpha.
and then Brawlhalla just came and knocked it out of the park. I was like, okay,
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't
this
think
is cool.
Brawl still can't reach up to the lengths of
With
Smash.
Smash Brothers, I
Yeah.
don't think anything can. I don't think anything can.
Yeah.
Because Smash Brothers was the forerunner. But to be fair, you'd have to be in a completely unbiased position to make that
kind of
call.
call.
Yeah, because if you grew up on playing Smash Brothers like from Nintendo 64 to where it is now, and you like did love all the characters and
Nothing
love
to
the
top it. Nothing to top it.
if you grew up on that, you could look at everything else as a clone, which it is, but you wouldn't be able to make a fair and unbiased opinion as to
Right.
which one, like what this game is doing that Smash Brothers never did before.
And I
You know
don't
what I'm
I don't like
saying?
that word. I don't like that word that you use, man. Like they use clone. Right? These a lot of these games so derivative, man. Like I've
They
seen it
ain't even taking
before.
all the sauce. They ain't even using all the
No
same
way.
sauce.
I remember
Update. They
games
making
wait,
All Stars too.
games used to
They're
come up
making it
with
also. Why?
They making a
wow.
PlayStation All Stars too. They're
Get
And the
as a
first one was a
recovery for
flop.
the first one.
get that. Get that. Get
Well,
that. Get that. Get that.
they
Who
saw
buying
how
that?
everybody else was doing, so they say
Why do you
if we
know
come
that?
back out. Nah, I just googled it, chat.
Oh
They're making a
boy.
part two. My God, why?
I
Oh,
was
Why would
worried.
they do
anyway,
that to themselves?
No, I was
anyway.
worried. I was worried.
I
It
mean,
sounded like you was interested or
even
something. You
even
started
you
to
know, even if Google has shown me that, I was just gonna forget it.
I was
quick.
be like, yeah, okay. I would
Yeah,
look
It
at
ain't
it and be like,
happening.
yeah.
I don't even think I would have seen it in the Google search. I
okay,
would have glossed over it.
Yeah. But
that's bad.
another thing with a lot of these games, like Magaso with the instant gratification, right? Um, there's the money involved. I also think this testing the waters. I think there's also feature creep, right? Everyone think they about to make the greatest game ever, right? And this game is a live service. They gotta last 10 years. No, like no,
Flop.
that ain't how
Flop.
that ain't how a lot of
Flop.
games ain't gonna work.
Marvel's
Most
Avengers.
games ain't gonna
Flop.
be live service and it ain't gonna work. Right? I remember back
Flop.
in the day, games used to be right. You start it, you get into the flow, you get the rhythm of the game, and it finish. If you want to know more of this universe, you gotta wait for the next game.
They
Emphasis, you
don't
gotta
even
wait.
like. They don't even like to put the co-op aspects of the game in the games anymore. Remember, there used to be a lot of split screen games. Like you could sit down with your brethren on the couch and play
Right,
these games, but that's not even the case
right,
anymore.
right. Well,
Oh
It's
yeah,
lost
you gotta
I
behind.
remember.
understand. You gotta understand too. Is Sony, Microsoft, all they want everyone to have a console in their house. Right? It ain't in their best
Well,
interest for everyone to do the couch.
Microsoft don't really
that
want that no
was the
more.
case. That was the case. Microsoft is playing the game different now. Microsoft actually
Mm,
getting. I like to say so. I have a theory. I have a theory that Microsoft is they still in the console war, but they playing it kind of scummy to kind of undercut Sony. So
What
here's
you
my
mean?
theory. Here's my theory. So Microsoft is making this clear, like this obvious pivot now into, you know what, we have a console, but you don't need the console. You know what? Whatever we got, just get our Game Pass and you could play it on your phone. You could play it on your PC. You could do whatever you want to do. You don't need a console. And you know what? Let's open it up. You all want to, let's do crossplay. Like, we're open to all of this. So they're in my eyes, when I saw them first start making some of these plays, to me, and this is not coming from a Sony fanboy bias, because I am biased towards Sony, but I can objectively look at when Sony fucks up and when Microsoft actually excels. Microsoft is positioning themselves in the whole in the major gaming manufacturing field. They're positioning themselves as the nice guy. When you look at Sony and you look at how Sony has interacted with other studios and other gaming publishers and other gaming companies, it's always this Sony owned. Don't touch this. This ours. This is, we don't share crossplay. Fuck you. That's always been Sony's position. But that's always been everyone's position. But Xbox made that first step towards, all right, look, we just want everyone to enjoy gaming. Gaming is something for everybody. You don't have a console, that's cool. If you get our Game Pass, we can let you play everything on your PC. Don't even worry about it, dog. Sony, if you know what, we ready to crossplay, just let us know and we can make sure open up that avenue. I feel like Microsoft intentionally playing this good guy role to undercut Sony and kind of force Sony's hand. I think it's a good play. I'm not even against it, but it's just so diabolically sinister. It's just like, it's so perfect. I love it. I absolutely love it. I agree
love it. I agree with that 100% because I can't tell you how many times we done talk bad about how Sony does be the one never trying to do crossplay.
Never.
Sony don't understand how much money they leaving on the table by not having crossplay. Like and I think they taken the first few steps in the right direction with, like, earlier a couple months back they released some more of their titles, their flagship titles on their exclusive titles on PC on Steam. So now you can get Uncharted 4 and 5. Yes, Uncharted 4 and 5. And you could also get, and they had Horizon Zero Dawn as limited exclusive, but now it's on PC. It's been on PC for a minute. But I waiting for
Horizon.
Horizon.
Game, everyone. It's a good one.
That
excellent.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Horizon, awesome. Play it.
I want to play it. I want to play it again on PC now because my friend bought it for me last Christmas, and I still have that. And listen, I ready to go back in that world and beat that bad. I can play that all on mouse and keyboard. I can be like, play this.
Grace, hey, get yourself ready for Forbidden West.
I waiting for that to come on PC, but like,
so long as you ain't going about
I agree with what you said. I think Sony isn't. I don't know why they being so stingy with what they have, but I think they're slowly realizing the amount of money that's being left on the table by not letting their titles be on PC, because it's like, like whenever you see a game, unless it's a PlayStation exclusive, like, okay, I want to play Last of Us 2. I am not gonna buy it on a PS4 because I mean, this thing catching dust right now. Because ever since I got this PC, I haven't touched that since I got this PC. I'm like, all right, cool. Because I'm realizing that any game I could find on a console, I can also find on PC. The only thing I'll have to miss is like the exclusives, and I'd be like, all right, so I can't play Forbidden West, or I can't play Last of Us 2 no more, unless something happens. But we'll see what happens. Or I can't play God of War. Come to find out now, God of War could be coming on Steam, and I was like, what's this?
From the minute I see Kratos, from the minute I saw Kratos in Fortnite, I just knew shit was good. It was gonna happen.
Like, are they catching sense?
They're being forced to.
I think it's
Microsoft is forcing their hand.
Sony used to depend, or they still depend on their exclusives. To be honest,
yeah, they do.
Xbox did for a while.
Xbox also has exclusives,
right?
Like you will never see Master Chief on fucking Sony stuff.
It over.
Bro, I low key upset that the new Elder Scrolls 6 only coming up on Xbox.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, really?
No way. No way. No
Yes.
That don't
way.
make sense.
Yes.
No way.
That don't make
No
sense.
way. No
I'm
way.
telling you.
I think no way, no way, no way. I think it's another Bethesda title that you're thinking about exclusively coming on Xbox. I think they said Elder Scrolls 6 isn't going to be I can look it up right now. But keep going, keep going.
Check it out.
Elder Scrolls. Wait, listen. Elder Scrolls Online.
Not online,
After-
not online. Not
No,
online.
not yet. So, like the
Yeah, see, it basically
chronological one.
confirms that Elder Scrolls 6 is an Xbox exclusive.
Wait, I typed in
Oh.
Elder Scrolls, my Elder Scrolls, and it said platforms, and I'm looking at the thing say PS4 and PS5.
You
Elder
can't just say
Scrolls 6?
Elder Scrolls. That's a whole
It's Elder Scrolls
franchise.
6.
Yeah,
It's
Of course,
Elder
I put
Scrolls
6.
6.
No, I have 6. I put 6 in it. I put 6. I
Oh,
promise.
because like you can't just say Elder Scrolls.
Man,
Anyway,
I don't know, man.
I could be wrong, but I've heard that the Elder Scrolls 6 is only coming up on Xbox. Now they might change it in the future, but it's only on Xbox
mean,
now.
I mean, if you
But
have PC,
the thing with that is, if you have a
PC.
PC, then you good. That's the trick.
Like having an Xbox, having a PC is just the same as having an Xbox.
It's an Xbox now.
Because everything is there.
It's an
It's like,
Xbox now.
Oh, which console you got? You got an Xbox or PS4?
Oh,
I got a PC.
And
Oh,
you
Oh,
know,
so you have an
you
Xbox?
know what's gonna be, you know what's gonna be the game changer?
What?
Steam Deck. Steam Deck when that come out,
Mm.
I could throw it in.
I don't think Steam Deck is going to be as big at launch. I think you got to give Steam Deck some time to actually pick up
Refresh my
traction.
mind. What's all coming into Steam Deck?
So the Steam Deck is going to be Steam's portable device. So anything in the Steam store, but it's not just for Steam. So you can use the Steam Deck basically as a fucking tablet, like a mini laptop.
Ah,
So
yeah,
you basically have the power of a computer in about the size roughly of a fucking Switch.
Right, they
That's
gonna
another-
portable.
That's another thing that that Microsoft and Sony fallen off on. Granted, Sony did try, and I stick by this when I say it. The PSP was one of the greatest
The
handheld
PSP was the
consoles.
greatest handheld of this time. The PSP
Yeah,
was
it
the
was.
greatest handheld of this
It
time.
was
Vita.
The Vita came too early. The Vita came too
No.
early.
No, I can tell you what Vita's problem was. This is what killed PlayStation Vita. Let me get mine. Hold on. I can hear you right now. You think I do good?
At least it ain't Ouya. Who remember that?
this is this.
I remember
You see
the
that?
Ouya.
You see this?
Uh,
All right, I can show you all right now what killed this system. Y'all watching? Watch this shit. Watch
Memory
it.
card. Memory card. Watch you pull out the memory card.
Man, don't see. I
Watch
ain't
you
even
pull out
got
the memory card.
the memory card, babe. The fact
And you know
that
what
they
that
made
is?
the fact
You know what
that
that
they
is?
made the fact that they made their very own specific memory chip memory card.
Proprietary.
It wasn't it wasn't a
I
micro.
was like, hold on.
no,
It
This
wasn't
one
a
right
micro
here
SD?
is a regular
No.
SD card.
It was a
What?
Sony SD.
Right,
It was
right.
a Sony SD.
Chance, you know, and you
Sony's
know,
SD was formatted specifically for Sony
and
devices.
you know what's
Now
funny?
the PSP
You know
had
what's
a
funny?
regular
It might
SD
actually just
and
be a regular micro SD. They just slapped the Sony label on it.
now they
No,
had
no.
micro.
No. That
I'm
one
telling
was
you, dude, look at
special.
this.
The PSP had
Look at
micro
this.
SD compatibility.
Look at this. Look at
But
this
that
thing.
right there is not.
Look,
a
this is
micro.
not
We're
a
talking about
regular
the
SD.
Vita.
Let me
We're
tell
talking
you.
about
Let
the
me tell
Vita.
you. Yeah, this is the Vita. That's what killed the Vita. Let me tell you. There are people there are people right now who made their own shell of this for you to insert an SD into and then put it in the Vita. On top of which, you could even go, if you have a 3D printer, you could go and buy the schematics for your 3D printer to print the thing out to put inside of this.
Mm.
That's how bad, that's how messed up it was. I was like, y'all can't be serious. You can't be serious. And like they didn't do anything with the Vita. The Vita has so much capabilities and things that they could actually pull off, but they just never they never did anything with it.
They didn't give
I
it
didn't
the
like
time.
the touch bar in the back. I didn't like that.
Yeah,
Like
what I
was looking
love
forward
about
to
this
that.
system, what I love about this system is the amount of let me put it this way. Indie gamers made a killing off of these.
Oh
of movies
yeah.
being
Oh
because
yeah.
indie
They had a real
developers, that's what
chance. They had a
indie
real
de-
chance.
like all of the indie titles came out on these. All these handhelds right
Bangers.
here,
And
they
there's
came out on
bangers.
these. I am telling you, babe, like
Patapon was a banger.
Patapon came out on Vita, on PSP, then Patapon 3 came out on Vita. What it is? Fairs was brilliant. You hear me? Fairs was a very good game. Then there was what's another oh god, I can't remember the name. It's this Metroid looking one. It's so good. I can't remember Axiom Verge. That's it. Axiom Verge came out on
Oh
that.
shoot!
That game is amazing. And I just be like, I just look at all these indie games and I'd be like, boy, Papers, Please came out on thing. Papers, Please is pretty fucking solid. And I was like, boy, you look down the list and you see all these indie games, and you'd be like, yeah, and then Switch came out and this blew the whole thing away. Switch's problem is the problem that I have now. Drift. I've had this. How long I've had this? I've had this for years, and I ain't had no drift on any of these.
I struggle with.
I have no idea what Switch doing. I think Switch intentionally put drift on these controllers so you could buy more. But that's the thing. I didn't even buy a regular Switch. I have the Switch Lite, so my Switch, my Joy-Cons are built into that, so I can't switch them out. Yeah, man. My Switch Lite is unplayable now because both of the sticks have drift on them. And it's bad. It's really bad. Like, it's bad. Like, I have to hold one of the sticks down so it don't touch the wrong game. I trying to choose to play bad. It's really bad.
Unplayable.
I'm like, yeah. I can't turn it on. I can't do anything with it. I like, yeah, fuck it. I can't fuck with it.
Nintendo has held the number one spot when it came to handheld games for a hot minute. This is coming from person. Yep,
they not a competition.
Y'all had
what?
Someone almost crashed outside my house, man.
No, I ain't at all.
I was like, nigga, what? Oh fuck!
This early in the morning. See what happens when you don't keep them on curfew, brave.
Violent, just road.
Hey, it's been just road ever since this curfew left, y'all.
I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that.
I have had all of Nintendo's handhelds from the Game Boy Color, from straight through 3 and 2 DSs, and to the Nintendo.
You had a 2DS?
I had a 2DS. I had the original 2DS.
Why though?
I have the original DS. Where that is?
I tried it.
DS numero uno. See that shit? Look at that.
Yep. But I've had them. When it came to the dual screen shit, the main issue
cold cut.
I had the XL, bro. I had them on. Now the thing about what it had that the DS used to fall off on is that the touch screens used to have dead zones.
Okay.
And although the games, the graphics weren't all that great, the game itself, the straight portability of it, and the fact that you just close the wide, jam it in your pocket, flip it back open, and you're back where you last left off. Straight brilliance to me.
I thought the DS. I thought at the time the DS came out, I was like one of the best handhelds known to man, and it was like a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, PSP could compete with it." And I was like, nah. No. Sorry, there's way too much. There's way too much innovation in the games that they choose to bring out on DS. Scribble Knots is one that comes to mind. Scribble Knots, like just the ideas that we have a touchpad that people can write on. What can we do with this? And they just
I feel like the PSP and the DS and the Nintendo one was going in two different directions, right? They were building two different games. Now I did think that the Nintendo one was better, like they were leading, but I thought this was going to kick off a battle of more handheld systems. It is.
I was looking for.
I,
That's
I
what I was
I
getting
really
into.
was looking forward to say what Sony. I was thinking as a what Sony can come out next. I'm ready,
What
Sony.
is Microsoft? Microsoft never stepped into the fray.
No,
So-
I don't think. I think Microsoft is. I think Microsoft is too. No, let me. I don't. I ain't gonna say they're too scared. What I will say is that I feel as if they know where their strength is,
They
and they
know
ain't
their
willing
strength.
to gamble.
Find their
They ain't
forte.
willing to gamble. They'd be like, listen, I can be real with you. While y'all want us to bring out a handheld, dying what y'all like us for. So we could just keep doing what we do on the side, all
So
right?
they did the opposite of Google in the Stadia debacle. Because Google's strong point wasn't gaming, but they tried that shit anyway.
Yeah.
Started on Stadia because Google is a company that I actually kind of like, but they just like Sony, which is another company that I like. They just allergic to making money. I don't get it. I don't understand how you
I got-
have
yeah,
so many
Google. I mean, sorry, I say
resources
Google.
at your
Say
hand.
Google.
I
You
say
might as well
Google.
call them Google because they keep fucking up.
Google.
It's just
Google
like
got the foundation to be very successful.
That's it.
in anything that they try, in anything in tech that
Well,
they
like they
try,
always just fall flat. How many
they choose to
projects?
fail.
How many projects has Google tried and they just let it flop? Do you
Just
remember
drop.
Google
They
Glass?
just drop. They
Do you
just
remember
drop it.
Google Glass?
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
that's a tangent. We going off. Let's get back to gaming.
But anyway,
No,
what I
because
was
because I did a video about the Google Stadia
Stadia.
thing, and I think one of the things that I mentioned was that Google has this thing where they is like they throw their ideas on the wall all at once, and then whatever sticks, that's what they're working with. But they don't do the work to like do the upkeep for it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel like they also rushed
That's
things.
the issue.
They
That's
Yeah,
also rushed it.
It's
it
not
was
even that they rush. It's not even
Mm.
really that they rush, because they
Mm.
take their time. When you look at it, Stadia had a very steady release. It wasn't rushed. They just didn't fucking keep up with it. Like they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't try to maintain and build and foster that. And here's another kicker. Let me show you why. I remember I said Google and Sony, two companies that I love, but they just keep fucking up. Sony actually had the drop on all of these companies when it came to cloud gaming. I think it was about 2016, 2017-ish, between 2015 and 2017. Sony bought a company named Gaikai, which was, I think it was an Eastern company, might be Japanese, I could be wrong. I just know it was an Eastern company that specialized in live streaming and cloud gaming. Everything that Stadia was supposed to do. Sony purchased them for a shit ton of money and then proceeded to do nothing with the tech. But no, let me tell you what they did with the tech. You want me to tell you what they did with the tech?
What?
PlayStation Now.
Oh, okay.
Garbage.
Don't
For
say
whatever
garbage.
it's really-
No, don't. You can't say garbage. I can tell you why you can't say garbage because people are actually paying for it. If it was
Not a lot.
garbage,
They've
Not a lot.
never-
listen. If PlayStation,
it ain't
now,
enough because now it's dropping. They ain't do
No.
PlayStation now.
hold on. Let me. Because about that, this whole thing was coming on with the what the name? What the name? Icarus? Spartacus?
Spartacus.
This whole thing was coming on with Spartacus. Their plan is to stop on PlayStation Plus and slowly phase out PlayStation Now.
They trying to
If
fuse
PlayStation
it.
Now was garbage, you wouldn't have seen how much people on it. People paying money for PS Now.
It's not garbage isn't the right word for it. It's not
Underwhelming?
optimal. It's not optimal. It's not going to get them the best return. The
True.
PlayStation Now right now is it's serving a very niche audience. It's serving a very specific demographic. And that's nostalgic people looking to go back and play a wide library of older classics that they love. No one, I don't think I could be very generalistic here. I don't think anyone below the age of 25 gives a fuck about PlayStation Now.
I know I didn't. I was like, what this is? Oh, I could pay money to stream a game.
They don't have anybody under 25 has no appreciation for the game. for any of those titles.
That's what I'm saying. They're not the demographic. They're targeting strictly nostalgia. And that's why it's not that it's failing, it's underperforming and it's not fully what they can do. Sony itself has so many great individual pieces that they just aren't weaving together. But that is why I have high hopes for this Spartacus shit that's coming out now. Because think about it. Sony purchased Funimation and I think an ownership stake in Crunchyroll. I ain't too sure. I know they purchased Funimation for
Sony
sure.
bought Funimation and Crunchyroll.
Sony bought Funimation.
Better do it before Disney does.
You know what's fucked up about that? As funny as that is, that's
It's true.
actually true.
Yeah.
That's actually true.
That's very true.
I will tell you all this. The day you see Disney buy any anime company, call it a wrap for anime. Call it a wrap because I'd be like, wow, all the blood is gone. No more action. No more high. I mean, you might get some high action scenes, yeah, but they have to dumb it down and shit, and you have to be like, oh.
Not necessarily, because let me show you how.
Deadpool.
Okay, is a tangent, is a bit of a tangent, but I can make it very concise. Disney is way smarter and way more finessey than they put on. So when you hear Disney, you think of more of the kids, family-oriented stuff. But a lot of people don't realize that Disney has ownership of adult-focused brands. Like Disney has ownership of ESPN. Disney has ownership of Hulu, a platform that has a lot of mature content. So they won't Fox, 20th Century Fox. So they have these assets where they can cater to these other people without directly putting their name on it. So the Disney name is still bright and sunshine. But at the end of the day, that money going in that Disney bank account.
Yep.
They smart. Disney, what they doing?
Scoot got that one unlocked, boy. Disney would buy it, boy. Disney would fucking buy it. Hey, you don't want it? Oh, Disney will get it for sure. Disney will get it.
Oh yeah, they can make a profit.
Straight for that.
They can make their money off it. But
and Disney is doing.
Disney would buy Sony if Sony didn't. Wait, if they cut, Sony was getting bought.
I don't even hear that darkness, wait. Don't even say that.
Every time I hear someone. Every time I hear or read an article that Disney bought someone else, I always imagine the people, like the executives, like they just leaving a meeting and one of them just leaving behind trying to put all this stuff in his briefcase and the door like open slow and you see like one of the Disney people come and be like,
Mickey Mouse is Mickey.
What's up, man? I heard you. I heard money a little tight. Man, let me talk a second. And the very next day, Disney buys such and such. Be like,
merger and acquisition. New merger and acquisition.
Mickey Mouse.
I always think about it like that. Every single time I think about it like
Mickey's coming in office, be like, oh, you didn't get them sales in the last quarter? You didn't get them sales in the last quarter? I can help you out.
Man, I feel that one for you, man. Look here, let me talk to you one second. Let me show you something. And then the next day, Disney acquires such and such. Be like, well, motherfucker.
Money's looking a little tight.
So, Jesus.
Oh, boy. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. Just like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man.
Just gully creeping.
So bringing it back to gaming. Let me reel this in real quick. Bringing it back to gaming. Because that was a bit of a tangent. But we're on the topic of money right now. We're on the topic of money in gaming. We talked a lot about the developer side of it. We talked about the company side of it, the publisher side of it. Let's pivot to the creator side of it now. We had touched on it a bit earlier when we mentioned how you pulling out the statistics for the kid whose parents is telling them you aren't making no money on video gaming.
Mm.
I stay I insert myself in those conversations with parents talking to their kids about you can never do this. I'm like, bro, I ain't saying you can't do it, but know that it's possible. Okay. If you actually take it seriously, like I ain't just saying, but if you just sit down and play a game and don't really do nothing, like not actively try to get good at it or actively try to monetize it, you can make money. It's like, no, it's a job. If you want this as a job, you treat it as a job. But that being said, talking about the monetization of the content, and the content here would be gaming, but content is all encompassing. We're just gaming is just one avenue of it. What for you specifically, Magaso? What motivated you to take that lunge? Because a lot of people still see it as a high risk endeavor. Anything to do with creatives, anything that creatives normally take on is seen as high risk because it's not directly tangible. It's not something that someone can put an exact label or an exact price tag or an exact sticker on. So
Subjective.
a lot of the times it's very subjective. So a lot of the times you kind of winging it and you making the stuff up as it goes. And when you have a price, people want to cross-reference it and see. So what was your first experience, or what was that first spark for you getting into content creation? And what has your experience been throughout your early years up to now?
What pushed me towards being a content creator and attempting to do this like full time? In 2 words, being broke.
Yay! The ultimate motivator. Yes, sir.
I don't know if anyone. I don't know if a lot of people don't remember my first ever stream, but during this whole COVID thing, the reason why I started streaming is because my landlady was threatening to kick me out of here after she promised that she'd like work with me, given the fact that I wasn't working or whatever. So I was like, I need to start making some money. So I set up my channel. I was streaming on Facebook first, and I started that. And I had some people like donating me. I told them what was going on. People donated me some money, and after that it was whatever. Now, I mean, I waiting to try and get like people to actually donate more money because I love money. But I mean, at the same time, I love the idea of like playing video games, and I think because I'm already an entertainer by the things that I do, I realize that I take a lot of risks with all the things everything that I've done is a risk taking type thing, because it's like I could have gotten a regular job. Like I've worked every menial job that you can even think of. I've been a bus boy, pump attendant. I've been a parking boy. I've been everything. I've been a shelf guy. I even worked as a butcher's assistant in the back in the supermarket. I quit because the guy who I was working with, like he has two. At the time when I started, he had 2 severed fingers, and what made me leave is that he cut off a third one. I was like, yeah,
that's tragic.
You was there for that?
That's tragic.
You want me to work the saw? No, babe.
You was there for that? You was there
I was
for
right.
that?
I was right in the back. I was right in the back there. We had to take his finger and put it in a bag with some ice, and he just asked on the hospital. He's like, "Yep, I quit.
That's fucking gross.
Put me on the shelf. Put me on the shelves, or so I quit. Y'all want me? You work the saw? No, bro." So I was like, nope. I just stick to my mind because I need these. Okay. I need these. I can't let anything happen to these. Like when I come to money, I will insure these. I cannot lose these. I can't lose these. Yeah.
Can't touch.
I'd be like, nah. So I'm like, everything that I've done to try and make money is a risk-taking thing. Like me being a full-time magician and balloon artist, that's a risk in itself. But the thing is, what I like to tell people about making money doing anything, if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, you have to always remember, and this is one thing Bahamians hard head with, because when people start seeing money, they just go crazy. I just tell people, I'd be like, listen, when you start making money, don't spend the money. Like you
Yes.
gotta put the money back into what it is you're doing. You can't spend the money, babe. If you, I just tell people, and people just be like that's why whenever people just come up to be, man, you can't teach me how to make them balloons and blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, I learned how to make balloons by myself. I go on YouTube, I watch DVDs, I started going to conventions, I started meeting up with some people. Sometimes they'll show you some things, and that was it. But you know, you have avenues to learn. What I can't teach you is how to like manage your money. You have to learn that on yourself, and that is an extremely disciplined thing that you have to do. And a lot of people, they ain't ready for that, because once they see that money, it's over. You know what I'm saying? I just be like, I just be like, man, you don't make all that money. It's like, I make no money. It's my like, dude, you just come from the job. I'm like, yeah, I need more balloons. I need more balloons. I can't make balloon animals without balloons, and I gotta buy the balloons.
Not to cut you off. I know DJ got to push out real quick. You want to say his goodbyes and shit?
Alright, man. Yeah, but unfortunately, Daddy got to work in the morning. 5
Jesus,
a.m.
where you at?
He
Work at a
don't want to say.
hotel. I work at a.
He don't
Which one
want
that
to
is?
say. He don't want to say, man. He can text you. He can text you. He can text you. He don't want that to be on the record.
He don't want to incriminate people.
He don't want to give out to no employers.
I ain't gonna be mad. I ain't gonna be mad.
Boy, what? If he say the wrong thing, massa crack him with that whip soap.
Hey, do yourself a favor before you go to sleep, though. Finish cook that steak.
I done seasoned she in the fridge, prep for tomorrow's.
Oh, you marinating it now? Okay, everything cool.
Might as well. You don't fucking finish it. Eating glizzy all night.
Nigga ate a hot dog. I can't even get over that. That was at least a beef hot dog.
Yes, bro.
Did you put the ketchup and mustard, mayonnaise, all that stuff?
Yeah, but she dressed.
Okay.
All right.
Because you just had a dry bread and a hot dog, like, bro.
That's I ain't struggling that hard. Jeez.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
that sounds like a struggle sandwich.
Dry bread.
Jesus. That's a pleasant meal.
I need this drink for real. Anyway, I catch y'all, gents. It has been fun. Had some interesting conversations. Eddie, I look forward to doing more videos with you in the future. Coming days, maybe.
We might have to do a part 2, but I gotta head out soon as well. To be honest.
Well, let me just wrap up what I was saying. And all I was saying was, I like the idea of like, I love playing video games, and I love the idea of like streaming, because to me what streaming is like, I don't know if y'all ever had the experience like having like your older sibling play a game. Like you can't beat it, but you watching them play it, and you be like, yeah, this is cool. Like just watching them do it, and sometimes piggybacking and saying, no, you're supposed to go that way, and stuff like that. That's what I like streaming for.
The social aspect of it.
Yeah,
it's
and
not, it's the same feeling you had from the arcade when someone over your shoulder, nobody duck. It's that same feeling. I get what you're saying.
And that's why I like it so much.
I remember being in the arcade and niggas trying to push quarter on my machine. They should take just this one's mine for a hot minute, sir. You don't got next.
Like, no man, you see all these quarters in front of me. Y'all straight, but y'all gotta go play something else.
Y'all gotta find something else.
I beating this tonight. And you go home and ain't even damn game. Jesus, I can't tell you when I finally beat Altered Beast. It was me and my cousin. Man, we had a crew of people them around us. We was like, oh shit, they almost beat it, play. They almost beat it.
Big vibe.
I like them shoes. Them shoes is my baby.
I think the guy who did run the place was watching us. He was like, oh shit. They get him. You gotta duck down that way, though. You can't do that. You throw your head that way. I was like, motherfuckers, this is crazy. It was so fucking nice. I ain't gonna lie. It was nice.
Right? But with that, we can wrap this up. We definitely got to come back for a part 2, man, because I ain't close to finish. We just getting to the meat now. We just getting caught up to nowadays, and I got a lot to say about gaming today.
Yeah, I would love to come and do this again. So let me know when you're all ready, and we can finish
But
talking.
we can set that up. We can make sure I set that up. Thank you all for coming through. Make sure leave a comment. Let us know what you think about anything we talk about today. Hit that like if you fuck with the boys. Share the video. Get the word out. This is the part 1. We're gonna have the part 2 coming for you all soon. And I can't wait because I got a lot to get off my chest. You all already see how I feel about them niggas making money with this stuff now. I
No
have
more
a lot.
microtransactions, man.
No more micro. No. See, the thing is, I'm not even completely against it. I just want it to be rational. I want it to be fair. I want it to not pay to win. I want it to I want to have the choice of a reasonable, I could get these set of stuff for $1. Something reasonable. I'm paying $5 for a whole character.
See,
Dragon Ball Fighters.
See, you won't understand the nature of the game. Like I also just said,
That's what
right?
I'm saying. It's against the very nature of making money. I get it, but that's what I want. I
But
just
is
saying what
that
I
and
want.
the instant
As a
gratification?
consumer, as a gamer.
Is the instant gratification to it too? A lot of gamers they ain't trying to put in the work, trying to collect one little piece of artifact or one little piece of clothing no more.
Hey, let
Well,
us know in the comments.
anyway, yeah, because we was about to go back in.
I just said
I was ready for
but
it.
the next part of the conversation we got to talk about the consumers, right? Because I feel like we spend a lot of
Yeah, we
time
have to. I think that's the main
on the
part.
developers, the business, right? And they got plenty dirt in their hands, no doubt. But
Dude,
consumers
boy.
But
ain't innocent.
consumers equally to blame. So
Right.
consumers equally to blame.
And
Because
me and
the
School
reason
gotta
they
go.
doing it is because they paying for it.
And me and School gotta go for that argument once again when it comes to casual players versus hardcore players and the amount of time you put into a game to achieve
Oh
certain.
boy. Yeah, definitely
You
not
have a
tonight.
problem. There's nothing to talk about. You have a problem.
We're gonna discuss that later. We're going to discuss that later.
Anyway, all of this stuff next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Dun, 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 dun,
Wait, what? I used to
boy.
trip out for that Dragon Ball Z music. But thanks again for coming through. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about monetization. What was your first? What first sparked that gaming love for you? What was that first game? What was the turning point for you? What did that look like? And what do you think about the state of gaming right now? Let us know in the comments. Leave a like, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to not just BEY Entertainment, but Magaso 242 on YouTube. Let them know where they can find you, Magaso.
You can find me right there on Magaso 2 on YouTube with Magaso 242. I also have a Instagram Magaso 242 and on a TikTok. I Jesus Lord. You know, it's funny I got more followers on TikTok than I do on YouTube. That's bad. Y'all need
Really?
to follow me on YouTube though. Look, for real, man. I got like
That's
700 and
backwards.
some followers. I got 700 and some followers on TikTok.
He's
And I got
microwave
like,
children, man.
man, I trying to get them, man. But follow me right now. I stream right now on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 to 10, and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. doing balloons. That's my balloons only day. And then Sundays 10 p.m. until, because me and my crew just be getting together talking all kinds of shit.
I see that. I see that.
And things we getting on
Y'all always have a jolly old time in the Monster Hunter world.
man. We used to get on,
But
trust me, we could be playing that until we don't do everything. Then we got to move on to something else.
But hey, hit up all of the BEY Entertainment socials as well. We got all of them down in the description for you below. We're gonna have Magaso stuff down there for you as well, and we are going to have the GameHeads information down there as well. GameHeads is a sponsor for both of our platforms. We got to make sure to shout them out. This is going to be a series of events they got going on this month, so keep your eyes out for that. But we can wrap it up right there, folks. So as usual, BYC to the next video, and if you can't make it, CYC, man, it is what it is.
Ding dong.
So much. I love that so much. I don't know how y'all come up with that. That's so solid.